she ain't gonna push through in no damn 6-inch heels, but she will push through with being knowledgeable on every subject that's got to do with the U.S., honey. The first presidential debate of 2016 election. Girl, let me tell you something. I was nervous. I wasn't sure how to feel. Going in this, I wasn't sure how Clinton was going to attack. There's never been a presidential candidate like Donald Trump. So I was wondering how years of experience is going to work for Hillary Clinton, considering that she's dealt with some of the same presidential candidates in debates. So I'm just like, how can she get Donald Trump to act a fool? Because people have already told him, I'm pretty sure his staff have told him in debate prep to get his stuff together, do not take the meat, do not take the beef, and he just did it. Girl, she did it, and let's just go ahead and talk about it, honey. Hillary Clinton's wig was cropped, dusted for the dear heavens. She was prepared, she looked very presidential. Me and Adrian had a conversation about why she could not wear a dress or anything like that. We all know the problem that we have with women, you know, being seen weaker, or housewife if they wear a dress or something. But it's unfortunate. I'm just like, she just gonna have to wear a pantsuit. It's unfortunate, but it's all about the logistics and how she looks and stuff. She has to look presidential. It's kind of an issue that I have a problem with, and I hope that we fix that, you know, in the years to come, because I don't think of what a woman wears has to do with how strong she looks. She wore a sickening ass red pantsuit. She was cute. What I found funny was that both candidates had on their opponent's color. You know, red is for Republicans and blue is for Democrats. As when I seen Donald Trump come out, he looked very presidential as far as his suit and his blue tie. He looked very presidential. Hillary Clinton, like she was just ready to just do what needs to be done, girl. That's what they said about her. She looked presidential, and Donald Trump did too. Now we got to the debate at hand, girl. The question was, how can we bring jobs? How can we create the economy to be bigger and better than what it is now? First question goes to Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton answers the question. She thanks everybody about what's going on. She thanks the people for, you know, inviting her for the president debate and all that type of stuff. She talks about it, and she was just like, she wanted to help the middle class. She wants to rebuild the middle class. She wants to invest more of them, and she's tired of this trickle down economics where we cut taxes for the rich. We, you know, trickles down. There's some Ronald Reagan type of shit, girl, and that whole thing with Ronald Reagan and those trickle down economics is, you know, still being questioned to this day. Did it actually work? Because, you know, during that time, I think Ronald Reagan as a president exemplified just, you know, strong presidential tease whenever he was, you know, talking and stuff. And I think that he encouraged Americans to work hard. If I think anything, I think the Americans worked harder to build the economy. I think Ronald Reagan had a role in it, but I think it was just Americans working harder and you know, busting their ass. That doesn't mean things were better. I don't necessarily know if I believe in the trickle down economics. I don't know how I feel about it. I think the rich are going to do, the top 5% going to do what they want to do regardless if you cut their taxes or what. They're going to make it happen. They're just going to make it work. It just is what it is. And the other thing is, we really can't afford to buy products that are made in the U.S. We can't. Just can't. Girl, I'm just going to be honest with you. iPhones were made in, I think, and I'm not sure if I'm 100% right on that, if iPhones were made in the U.S., they'll be way more expensive than what they are. So, girl, it just is what it is. He just said that the reason why these companies are leaving is because it's too expensive. They have companies being created in China, Mexico, and all over the world because it's too expensive to make stuff and do business in America. They said the corporate tax rates are too high, business tax rates are too high, and he said, you know, these people just do not want to spend money in America. And that can be said, but to be honest, these businesses are going to do whatever they got to do to make as much profit as they can. We've seen this time and time again where, you know, certain companies have spent less money on stuff in cars to make people safer. We've seen it come with food, making careless mistakes, girl. It's just to save money, and it's just, this is the day and age we live in now. This is just what is going on. I get kind of offended with business, like, well, we care about you, girl. No, you don't care about my credit. You care about yourself. You care about your money and how much profit you are making. So Donald Trump, what he was trying to say is that, you know, he's a businessman. He knows how to make this work. Girl, it's just not going to work with one person. Going in, Donald Trump looked very presidential. He looked like his tone was just there. He sounded presidential. Hillary Clinton, she kind of started, for me, she started off kind of shaky, little bob, because she knew them email questions was coming up. She knew them super predator comments were coming up. She knew them flip-flopping on NAFTA was coming up. She knew all of this. I would tell you what Hillary Clinton knew and what she did is she made sure that she was prepared for those questions. And Kaylee, whatever her name is, Michaela, or whatever her name is on, you know, CNN, you know, says she rested for 2 weeks instead of talking to America. If that's what it takes for her to sit here and look presidential on the TV, that's what I want to see. I love this. I love the presidents, you know, presidential candidates going to different cities to meet with, you know, voters and stuff. But at the end of the day, this is very important. It's going to be 100 million people versus a couple of thousand people who are going to be watching, and they're going to be asked these questions. They're going to be asking a lot of stuff that's on people's mind. for her not to be able to articulate those at this time, you think of like 100 million people watching. That was important. So you can say whatever you want to say about her stamina, about her being strong or looking like she's strong, with Donald Trump bringing it up. But she was prepared. She was prepared for every attack, and she articulated. Now she started out shaking, and then once she pushed Donald Trump's buttons and stuff, asked him certain questions and stuff, he asked him about releasing his taxes and the audit and stuff, he got a little shook, and he started doing the excuse me. You can tell Donald Trump has a mood. Whenever he gets irritated, he does this. It's almost like you can tell when somebody's lying. He does this. He gets very upset. I'm gonna tell you why he gets upset. This is a man that has been grown with a silver spoon in his mouth. He's so privileged that when somebody is out, somebody is questioning him or challenging him, he does not understand it. He can't process why somebody's messing with him. He does not understand. So he kind of just does not know how to tone it down. I think Donald Trump does have an anger problem. I really do. I know their stories. I know their stories because it seems like whenever you talk to him, whenever his buttons are pushed, he just gets real irate. Now, what I always find funny is how political commentaries all on CNN, MSNBC, all these stations always say, we don't know why Donald Trump is winning. We don't know why he's up in the polls. I'm going to tell you why. White America, there are still people who are living when, fountains and schools were segregated so many years ago. These people are still people who probably voted for that stuff, voted against it, and voted for it, for these schools and stuff to be segregated. They're still alive. They're barely getting by, but they're still alive. They're not gone yet. So these people, he's feeding. Somebody commented on my Facebook when I put a picture up about, Donald Trump's response tonight, said that, Hillary Clinton pandering to the black vote. Of course she is. So is Donald Trump pandering to the white racist ass bigots that follow him. Of course they are. That's what happens. You might not be for this issue, but the majority of this is what the tea is. So you get informed about it. And Hillary Clinton was just prepared. I think this was a night for Donald Trump. He's been up in the polls. I'm actually surprised that he's even in the close percentage range of with these polls with Hillary Clinton. This was his night to be like, I am doing what I need to do. Screw all that what I've done in the past. I'm presidential. I'm doing what I need to do to get this stuff done, and I'm learning. And because a lot of us are sick of politicians. We're tired of the Clinton machine. We're tired of all these politicians that have been doing this for 30, 40, 50 years, and it seems like they're just not getting anything done. But Donald Trump, this was your night, and you made a fool of yourself. You didn't look like you were knowledgeable, and you looked like you were not prepared, and you made a fool of yourself. It was so bad, and I hate to even get to it. It was so bad after the debate, you had to answer questions about what happened, and you had to go back and explain yourself from what you said on the stage. You had to clarify stuff. That's how I know you lost. You lost, bro, and it's sad. Now, it was a lot of talk about Hillary Clinton not having the stamina, not being able to, stand. Girl, when she brought up that point of her standing for them couple of hours, sitting for them 3 hours before asking them questions about them emails and stuff, that was stamina. I think Donald Trump slick played the fact that she's a woman, she's an older woman, that she doesn't look presidential. She exuded that the whole night. Now, one time did Hillary Clinton pick up the water and drink some water. Not one time. I think she started coughing. I saw that neck move a little bit, but not one time did I hear her coughing. I was worried about that because, if she coughs, it doesn't look presidential, even though it's human for somebody to cough. And I think that's an issue that we have. We put some of these things on people. We expect them to do something, but at the end of the day, they're still humans. At the end of the day, it's okay for her to cough, but it just doesn't seem presidential if she does. She did not cough. Donald Trump did not look focused. He was drinking water constantly. He was steady sniffling. Like, girl, what are you on? Okay, are you on huge? What are you on for you to be sniffling so much? It was just irritating my soul. She kept breathing so hard. Girl, she would sound like a damn hog that's about to be slaughtered, girl. She sounded so stupid. Another big mistake that Donald Trump consistently did is cutting Hillary Clinton off. He kept cutting her off. Every presidential debate, people cut folks off. It just is what he's like, girl, I'm gonna make my point. You're not gonna drag me too much. I'm gonna make my point. But Donald Trump consistently cut her off. That's the whole God. What was you doing? Y'all might, to be honest, in my opinion, I should have just got my guy up there, Anderson Cooper, to get up there, because unless they gave you a chance and you just let them just run over y'all. I understand that you wanted to give the candidates some time to talk and not cut them off too much, but Donald Trump just kept talking over you. Nobody interjected, got him together, brought him back to focus. Now, you did gather him and make him clarify some of his statements. See, this is the thing that Donald Trump does. He'll say some stuff and then he'll say he don't remember. Girl, she is a sickening ass lawyer. Let me tell you something. She was sitting here and say, I don't remember saying that. I don't remember saying. She'll just act like it. Now, Donald Trump acts like he says he's not a politician, but he acts like one of the best politicians, because somebody can call him out on a lie, and he will sit here and tell you,
girl, I didn't say that shit.
and you'll be sitting here thinking like, bitch, she lying so strong, I don't know if I'm telling the truth. And that's not somebody I'm not interested in. Now, I'm not featuring Hillary Clinton 100% either. I'm not feeling none of these politicians 100% either. Anyway, we're not going to agree with them 100% on everything. It's just not going to happen. It's not realistic. So this whole thought of you're going to agree with a candidate on everything, it's just not going to happen. We're not going to always get, that's not how politics works. That's how not the democracy works. That's just not how the world works. So, you know, if anything, and I'm just going to put this out here, it is important for us not to just vote in these presidential elections, but it's very important us vote in these local elections. I cannot stress it enough. We cannot continuously put a certain president in office and we don't have them with their people, their soldiers, to do the groundwork. This has happened constantly, and it's just not going to stop. Donald Trump, you completely missed the point when it came up on how we bring the country because of the divide about racism and police brutality. You completely missed the point, and you could have lied your way all the way. Girl, you did not do it. You did not do it. You said you met with these black pastors. Girl, you have met with a bunch of coons, and they do not speak for black America. One or two people cannot speak for black America, okay? Especially when somebody is speaking and majority of the black people are saying, girl, she don't speak for us. That's why that black pastor, that black female pastor, cut you off when you started attacking and stuff. She said, girl, I did not invite you for that. I invited you for other things. That black pastor had every right to do that. And for him to go after and attack her made him look completely bad. There are not too many black people are voting for Donald Trump. And at this point, if you support Donald Trump, you are a bigot, you are a racist, and you are a xenophobe. And I'm just not interested. I'm going to tell you what CNN and these other folks can't tell you. Girl, he's a racist. We have so many receipts to prove that. And I hate to even talk about this in the debate forum, but this is my opinion of how I felt about the debate anyway. I just feel like he's a racist and he's a bigot. I just feel like that. And we have plenty of receipts. He was sued, him and his father was sued for not leasing apartments to black people and people of color. What information do you need? Like, how do we still not lay this stuff out in people? That tells you what the issue is. When asked about how we can bring the country together, this fool says law and order. Law and order. This fool says law and order, girl. And she said police, girl. Let me tell you something. Black people are not trying to hear something about no law. They're not trying to hear about no order. And they damn sure ain't trying to hear about no damn police. So you know what? Hillary Clinton said what needs to be said without pissing off both sides. I understand her completely what she's doing. She can't say what a lot of us will say. We can't say fuck white folks, fuck pigs. She can't say that shit. That's not how the world works. I love saying it because I'm like, girl, I can say what I want. She's got to have more than just black voters and people of color voting for her. She needs some of white America to vote for her. That's why we gotta keep populating this place. We got to do it, girl. We got to get this infant mortality rate up. We got to get it together, girl. We got to. Oh, she has to play it. She has to have respect for police officers, and she has to really have the respect for black people as well. And she articulated with perfection. And she said that there is some training, and these police officers need better training. We need better community policing. And when we say that, because they said one girl from Black Lives Matter, I guess she speaks for Black Lives Matter or something. I was reading an article. She said we needed communities that did not have police officers. When I heard her say that we don't need communities with police officers, she might meant a heavy police presence in certain communities and stuff. And we do need better community policing. These mean that the police Officer John needs to be talking to Miss Jones across the street. It needs to be some type of dialogue, conversation. It needs to be that's the only way. But more laws and taking guns out the streets, girl, that's just nothing. Then we got on the subject of stop and frisk. He missed the mark. He missed the mark completely. Stop and frisk is inefficient. It doesn't work. It's been studies and stuff saying that, the studies still going. They said it really didn't do too much. If it did anything, it's discriminating on people of color. It did nothing. Like take some guns off the street, girl. A lot of folks y'all pull over didn't even have anything. And it's discriminating on people of color. And I don't think that some white people don't understand the dynamics of why black people or people of color are in situations they are in. It's more complex. And the nerve of Donald Trump to blame Obama for the 4,000 black men and women who have been killed in Chicago. It has nothing to do, if it's anything, it has something to do with you people, you white people, okay? You white supremacist ass people. Y'all are the reason why that stuff is going on. And if you look into it and actually study, you'll see the reason. But some of y'all are not trying to figure out what the problem is. You think you know what the problem is, you're not even in the situation. So to understand the problem, you need to be in it and you need to study a little bit more. I promise you it does not hurt. I've completely educated myself over the last year or so by reading and talking to friends and just knowing what's going on, what we can do to make things better. A lot of these people, sometimes when I hear white people talk about black issues news and stuff, I had to take it with a grain of salt because I know they don't know how to season it no way. Clinton did the best thing she could have done when it came up to a question about her emails. She said, I made a mistake. I made a mistake and I did it wrong, and if it had to begin, I would have not done it. And it's over. Donald Trump, you could have hammered her ass down about them emails. But instead of staying on emails, you let her push you to another direction. And girl, you went on the Zippin' Pippin in Liberty Land. And girl, she's not even in Memphis no more. So you just don't know what roller coaster you are on. And girl, she had you on a roller coaster, the Clinton roller coaster. And girl, it turned from the Clinton roller coaster that you were on to the Trump train wreck. That's how bad it had upgraded from a roller coaster to a train wreck, girl. Girl, a state of emergency, a fool. My best line for the night was when Donald Trump was talking about how bad the airports looked. They looked like third world countries. He's like, I've been to these and their airports look amazing, da 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 da. And Hillary Clinton said, well, maybe they'll look better if you paid your fair share in federal taxes. Girl, if she did not hit that point with that, made perfect sense. Hillary Clinton had the facts ready. She had the receipts. She brought up some of his tax returns that were released several years ago, and he said he did not pay that much in federal taxes. Like, he just didn't pay. And girl, that's what these people do. Girl, these people, when you have that much money, you can pay people to look. You can pay lawyers. So black people don't have that. People of color don't have that access to that type of stuff. To spend thousands of dollars for somebody to save you millions of dollars. One of my guy friends on Facebook made a good point. He said he knows too many black people who have built a daycare with a tax refund check. Like, girl, so what your $15 million loan that you got, and with your white privilege and your background, and this is what you're talking about, you built an empire, girl, of course you have. You've had nothing to stop you. The only point that Donald Trump made and made a lot of sense was the pullout, and how the Iraq pullout was, how it was handled. It was a tragedy, girl. It was, girl, she was a mess, honey. They pulled out, and it was just, they just pulled out, and then we had to go back, and it's just, and I can understand, how did we pull out? I was over there when we started pulling out. It just happened so fast. It was like, girl, get all this shit out of here. So, but I understand a little bit, like, girl, this war was already a mess, so we had to get the hell out. We just had to get the hell out. You know, even when it came, you know, Hillary Clinton said, girl, you said you was for the Iraq, I mean, you was for the war, you was against the war and all that type of stuff, but nothing proved that you said that, girl. It's just like, girl, a mess. Donald Trump, you took the bait every time she put that steak on the grill. You were so hungry, girl, you didn't even want her to even put it on the grill. You took the bait and you failed. You failed. You failed. So I think this is a win-win for Hillary Clinton. She's completely stopped him dead in his tracks. We have 2 more presidential debates coming up. I'm a little nervous because you never know, because sometimes that last debate makes all the difference right before the election. Make sure that you are getting registered to vote. You need to go get registered to vote now. Make sure you're voting your local legislations and you're getting the stuff done, girl. You're talking to folks in your community. It's very important. This election is very important. We need to grow, continue. People of color, when they, and I keep telling folks, but Donald Trump says he wants America great again. He wants it back before all these policies and stuff were put in place. He wants before all this growth and stuff, not black people. Because we haven't grown, girl. It's the white people that have grown, have realized that these laws that y'all created, that all men are equal, they apply to every one of them. This law applies to every person, not just white people, but people all in the United States. So this debate was interesting, girl. I was a little shook in the beginning, but how it ended, I liked it. Hillary Clinton made her presence be known, and you know, she shook the industry. That shimmy that she did, oh my God. She said, woo, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Girl, Hillary Clinton got so many points. She got so many one-liners in. She is the queen of read. That's why I got the shirt on, queen of reads, and very effective. So I like this debate. Me and Adrian had a good time watching it, child. I'm just shook in a good way, honey. I'm gonna do me a little shimmy on the way out, and making sure you are registered to vote. Take care of that, and I will talk y'all later. Deuces, bye.